You've got a beating heart, yearning for connection. I've got tractor on feet in need of a blessing. All I can do is offer my conversation. If me reaching out for help is enough for you to make the call, believe me when I say, this snowflake is ready to take the fall. I wish I told them that my eyes are eternally glazed over. The streets are cold, my tears solidified, call me a snowflake. I must be the good kind. A different kind of snow caught a homeless man and froze him to death. He'd been treated for pneumonia mere days before. I might be a snowflake, but Ben was murdered by another kind. One thing I know, Ben's death didn't mark the first time.
I wish I told them that Euston Station ain't comfy when you're trapped in. Teased with destinations, nowhere to go. No capacity to sleep, no rest, no space, no home. I wish I told them that street corners aren't willing group hubs. I too have felt the cold enter my frosted milk-white bones and wondered if my unwilling trembles could be death attempting to escape me.
I too was born into a city that could spare me no room whilst it blessed others with 2 or 3. I was born into potentially freezing to death on the street. I wish I let them feel my needs. Let the trembles conduct and their temples speak. I wish I'd waited for my shiver-scarred stutter. Let the mutter which formed to keep the eruption of a familiar scream at bay cause their hearts to sink all the way to the gutter where I was left to sleep. I don't need your sympathy, your guilt won't keep me warm. I needed your empathy back when it might have materialised as shelter from the storm. I hope this spiral hasn't already been the death of me, but when I look at my reflection in the window of a Volkswagen car door, all I see is a lonely snowflake buried in anxiety. I am being suffocated by a set of screams heavy enough to combust into silence. When everyone is screaming, who can be heard?
I am homeless and I'm not the only one. My mother is homeless, she can't afford her own home. Her house becomes a murderous cell closing in on her ever so slowly. She constantly looks back for some comfort, only to tease herself back into reality. The state in which my mother can't afford to be a mummy, she can't afford her home. My mother's mother is homeless, isolated and caged in a home of her own, wrapped in nothing but a lack of warmth. These days, our predecessors are left unattended, to feel like wastes of space as opposed to the brand new ancients who reeled us into our existence. Their children are struggling to afford to house their own children. Our grandmas are willing to die to pay for our space, our homes, and a world in which we have one less burden.
Grandma, I will never be able to afford you. My eyes will never have the capacity to contain the tears that thoughts of losing you inside. My brain will never withstand the booms and bangs that coincide with wondering how much longer you'll survive. I will never be able to afford you. And that will always be okay. I'm always only a phone call away. What I need you to do is stay. My favourite poem is Dreams by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow.
I am from a city that has no room for me. Langston told me to hold fast to dreams. A man laid by the church slept, suffocated by snowflakes. I wonder if Ben was somebody's dream. I wonder what redundant dreams are buried with him. Ignorance is not bliss. It's a barren field frozen with snow. It's a blizzard.
It's a storm that murdered a homeless man. Ignorance is not your friend. It's your decided lack of humanity. Evidently, it is murder. It takes a snowflake to cause an avalanche.
I have a dream that one day, me and my children and their children, and my mother and her mother, that everyone may be treated as though they deserve a seat at the table as opposed to a death on a cold street corner. I guess I'm a snowflake.